What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Mike the Businessman, and welcome to the channel. Hey, if this is your first time, I want you guys to make sure you subscribe, and also don't forget everyone to like this video so that way I'm encouraged to keep putting out more content. I know a lot of you guys have asked me to be more consistent on my YouTube channel, and I'm making it a priority to do that for you guys, okay? All right, so today I wanted to discuss strategy. Choosing the right strategy for your car rental business, okay? See, a lot of you guys, so this video is catered to either people just starting out or people perhaps that have already started, but then things aren't working out as well, okay? So sometimes you have to go back to the drawing board, have a game plan, okay? Just like in the NFL or any major sports, right? Before they go play a game, they come up with a game plan. You have to have a strategy, all right? Are you going to attack? Are you going to play defense? Are you going to play this kind of offense or that kind of offense? You know, you have to know your strategy, okay? And so that's what I want to discuss today, right? So in the car rental business, there's several niches you guys could tap into, okay? And I always preach that you, before you get started, know your niche, okay? And by knowing your niche, you're able to now, and what do I mean by niche? So a niche basically is an area of focus, right? It's what focus area within the car rental industry are you looking to focus? There's several of them, and I'm going to discuss those at length here in this video. So find one that appeals to you and stick to it, right? Your niche will determine the kind of cars you buy, okay, your clientele. And then the next part to that is defining your avatar. What is an avatar? And no, it's not the green monster from that cartoon, okay? No, an avatar is your target audience, okay? An avatar is you visualizing your ideal client down to their demographics, down to their race, down to their sex if possible, down to their likes and dislikes, the kind of music they like, you know, the kind of cars they like. Visualize them. I literally have a picture of what my ideal avatar looks like, and so I craft all my marketing messaging towards them. The music I play in my ads or my Instagram reels or stories, everything is the kind of cars I buy. I buy only what my avatar wants, not what I want. Okay, so you guys see where I'm going to with this. All right, the biggest mistake I see a lot of people make is, ooh, I've always wanted a Jeep Rubicon, and then they go jump and go buy one, and then they're expecting the whole world to want to rent that car just because they liked it. Okay, that's putting the cart before the horse. Okay, no, you only buy what your customer wants. I might love and want a G-Wagon, but I could count the number of times on both hands when someone, actually one hand, when someone has actually called me requesting a G-Wagon. So I'm not going to go buy that and put that in my fleet knowing that, hoping that it's going to rent out. Okay, you can't, in this business, you don't base your decisions on buying cars based on hope. We have to go with analytical data. Okay, so choosing a strategy off the top is very important. So to give you guys some examples of certain niches that you can focus on, and I want you guys to start to brainstorm on them and then possibly pick one that you might like, okay? Some people choose to just focus on, say, weddings. So if you're doing weddings, you're buying certain cars that you know couples would want for a wedding, all right? What kind of cars are those? Either the old classic cars, you know, people want Rolls Royces, or people want convertible cars, okay? So those are pretty much would be your options for, say, a wedding. All right, so if you want to focus the weddings and you want to go hit up all the wedding, maybe if you're in a city that has a bunch of wedding chapels or wedding reception areas, and then you can cater to that and go market to all those places and get clientele. All right, so you guys see where this is going. And not only that, so now here's the next part about it too. Now you've niched down. Don't go buy, say you were buying a convertible. You're not going to want to go buy, you know, a crazy green colored convertible or something. Maybe you go pick colors that wedding people would want, right? So typical colors we see for weddings would always be white, black, maybe some gray. You know, if you're doing colors, nothing too crazy, but I wouldn't go put a color, if I'm getting, say, a Rolls Royce for a wedding, it's typically white, black. I would stick to those colors. So that's just a thought process, right? You would stick to those neutral colors that always work. So you'd go Google, you know, wedding car photos and just kind of get an idea of the kind of cars people rent for weddings, right? And then that way you know the cars to get and the colors to buy them in. Don't reinvent the wheel. Okay, you never do. Don't ever try to reinvent the wheel. If it's working, stick to that. All right. We're creatures of habit. Don't think your convertible with a purple wrap and purple rims is going to work. People would love it because you did. They won't. All right. So that's one niche. Another niche is also gig economy workers. All right. Some people choose to buy cars to cater strictly, so to speak, a business to business or B2B model where you're specifically catering and marketing to gig economy workers like your Uber drivers, your Uber Eats drivers, your DoorDash drivers, your Grubhub drivers, your Lyft drivers, you know, that niche. So And the beauty of this is, and as we've seen from the pandemic, is that those industries actually thrive during pandemics, or when people are locked down. So it's almost recession proof, so to speak, right? So that's a very good niche. And the beauty of that niche too is that these guys only want economy cars that are fuel efficient. Okay, so knowing that, I go look at the kind of cars that they normally drive. So maybe I'd go visit the Uber page or the Lyft page and see the classifications they have and the kind of cars that they have, right? And try to go buy cars that fall into those classifications, right? You guys see where I'm going to with this. That way I know once I get this car, I know that there's going to be a demand for that car. All right. And so that's how I want you guys to think about this. Don't go buy a Jeep Wrangler and expect an Uber driver to rent your Jeep Wrangler to use for Uber deliveries. It's never going to happen. Or go buy a car that has an 8-cylinder on it, or a 6-cylinder possibly, and expecting them to want your car. It's not going to happen. They want something fuel efficient and that looks clean enough to where they can pick up passengers or make their deliveries. All right. That's all they're focused on. All right, so that's another niche right there. Or maybe you want to, I know people that cater just to proms, or people that are hosting like concerts or events like that. So they go buy cars that kids will like for proms, and they get Sprinter vans for like party buses or whatever like that. So that's another niche. Okay, you could focus on that. If that's the case, go buy those types of cars. Go find out the kind of cars that kids like for proms, and also party buses. What are the good party buses to get? What brands? What needs to be inside of them? What colors do they need to be? Most party buses are typically black. Don't go get a yellow party bus. So that's how. And then when I speak about Avatar, how does Avatar come into all of this? I'm saying, Michael. Oh, well, perfect example. Let's take a look at the prom example, right? So say you were getting vehicles for prom, right? If I knew that my target audience was, say, an urban crowd, okay, I would, maybe a black and brown audience, I would go get, knowing that they like flashier things, right? So then I would want to go get, maybe that's when you get the flashier colors, maybe a purple car, or if possible a car where the doors go up. They would love that, so, and they would stick to certain brands of cars too, right? Say your Asian customer might want the souped up Nissan GTR or Audi R8, or some of these muscle cars, right? That's what they might want, right? Your Caucasian audience might want, say, your Jaguars or your Aston Martins, or and I'm just coming up with examples, right? Or your Audi R8 too. And then your urban clientele might want the BMW i8. They might, instead of the Audi R8, they want a Lambo instead. You know, so these are just examples of how niche and avatar come into play, right? I know for me, my niche is higher end cars, and so I own an exotic car rental company, and I know most of my clientele are urban clientele, black and brown clientele, and so my vehicles tend to cater to them. Okay, I have more colorful cars and cars that are fancier, right? These cars aren't, I don't go get the muscle cars or go tune my cars to appeal to my clientele. No, that's just probably going to lead to an accident or something. Instead, my clientele, they don't want to drive over 80 miles an hour. They just want to look pretty in their cars, go out, pull up somewhere nice, take a bunch of pictures, shoot content, and bring the car back. So I get them cars that look flashy, will look nice for content, nice to pull up on a date, or, and that's pretty much my strategy, okay? And yours could be different. So that's the importance of that. And then I even take it a step further, because I know my avatar, right? I know it's a black and brown audience. So then most of my clientele, they listen to hip hop. So in my say on my Instagram, when I'm posting my vehicles or just posting content on my business's Instagram page, I'm playing music that my audience likes, right? So I play hip hop music instead, right? So if your clientele is maybe country, say you're out in the country somewhere, and obviously you want to cater to them and play country music and get vehicles that they might want to drive, right? And your messaging, even the way you speak, your messaging on your social media, or if you're running ads or whatever, it should be catered to the way your avatar speaks, right? So maybe you might want to, if I'm catering to, so that's the importance of it. I just wanted to give you guys some examples so you know how to brainstorm and come up with your strategy, right? So it's so key. A lot of people lose this. They go buy different cars for different audiences, and it just becomes a big mess, right? And then when they have, say they have 5 cars, and 4 of them are just not renting out because they bought random cars. Maybe they asked somebody on a Facebook group what to get, or they saw a friend of theirs in a completely different state with a completely different audience has a particular car that's renting out very well. They rush to go buy that car expecting to replicate their results in a different city, in their city, and they fail. Okay, so that's where you having your own strategy comes into place, because now you have a clear focus. You know what car is going to move. I have a friend of mine, he's out in the north in Detroit, and all he does is buy economy cars, a specific kind of economy car, because he knows it's very fuel efficient, and the engine, to replace the engine, only costs him $250. So now he just keeps buying that same car, because every time he gets one and hands it over to his avatar, that car's gone for months. And very little maintenance, no calls for breakdowns and all of that. So instead, he just keeps replicating that. He keeps buying more of that same car and giving it to his avatar. Okay, that's the way I want you guys to think about this, right? So don't resist the urge to go have a Camry, and then a Jeep Wrangler, and then a Mercedes M3, and then it just messes things up. It makes you lose focus. It's hard to market, and you won't be able to scale as much. So I just want you guys to have this at the back of your mind before you get into the car rental business, before you even start buying your cars. Already map out your strategy, identify who your avatar is, and I guarantee you the entire process will become seamless for you. Okay, and here's one very important note. If you find a winning vehicle that your avatar is loving, double down on it. Keep buying the same vehicle. If it's worked once, it's going to work again. Okay, and just scale it from there. That's why you see these big rental companies have the same vehicles for the most part, because these are cars. This is based on analytical data. They know these cars work with their avatar, and so they just keep on buying more of the same car in the same make, model, and trim. Okay, so it shouldn't be any different from us. Okay, so I just want you guys to take some of these jewels, go start implementing. And listen, guys, if you need help with this, and maybe you're interested in getting my course. It's called the only car rental course you'll ever need. I go from A to Z on everything you need to get started in the car rental business, how you can start to make passive income off of this business. Well, semi-passive, but able to make 5 to 6 figures in the car rental business. Okay, it's a $108 billion industry, and this is the time to jump into it. So my course will teach you guys everything you need to know to get started. Just for my YouTube video viewers, use the coupon code M as in Michael, B as in boy, 200, and you get $200 off. Plus, I'm also throwing in a free one-on-one 1-hour consultation with people that get the course. That way I could work with you guys on your strategy and how to get started, okay? So you guys will actually get to consult with me for 1 hour, and I'll give you all you need to know to get started in this business and answer whatever questions that you guys may have, including setting up your rental car entity and all of that stuff, okay? So I want you guys to tap in today. Also, some people might want more personalized touch, right? So we also have our mentorship, okay? It's a 6-week mentorship. The link is also in the bio, and I'll walk you guys through for 6 weeks. And actually, it's like you can stay on it even after 6 weeks. You can still keep coming for the meetings, but it's it's designed to be a 6-week program where I personally, you meet me once a week and other like-minded people, and then we break down the strategies. I go through the modules in the course and answer any questions you guys may have. You have access to me whenever you need it to ask me questions, okay? So you guys leverage that, tap into that so I can help you guys out, all right? Thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You got value from it. Don't forget, put your comments, and also subscribe to the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.